The battle for Oakwood Drive. It began with a piercing yell that cut through the morning calm, startling me so badly I dropped a cardboard box on my foot. Hobbling to the front yard of our new home in Oakwood Hills, I saw my wife, Sarah, standing by her pickup truck, still in her navy sweatshirt, clutching a gym bag. A woman with a notepad, brandishing it like a sword, was lecturing her. "You can't just park here like you own the place," she screeched, gesturing wildly at our own driveway. Sarah, a retired Navy officer with 25 years of service, stood unfazed, her expression a mix of curiosity and feigned amusement. I'd seen that look before on a mission in the Persian Gulf when a smuggler tried to intimidate her crew. This woman, in her floral cardigan and oversized earrings, was no match for Sarah's steel. 2 days earlier, we'd moved into Oakwood Hills, a postcard-perfect suburb in Virginia with manicured lawns, identical mailboxes, and an eerie uniformity. After Sarah's retirement, we wanted a quiet place to unwind, maybe start a herb garden, and finally master homemade pasta. But the dream of tranquility shattered before we'd even unpacked. Whispers about the HOA president, Linda Grayson, had reached us on moving day. "She's intense," our neighbor Tom warned, glancing nervously down the street. We brushed it off, thinking it was just small-town gossip. Our driveway was ours, after all, spacious, private, and legally ours. Sarah parked there to unload boxes, and I was inside wrestling with the Wi-Fi when Linda's voice erupted. Linda had a knack for turning molehills into mountains. She stormed toward Sarah, pointing at the truck like it was a personal affront. "This isn't a junkyard," she snapped. Sarah, calm as ever, asked, "I'm unloading. Is there an issue?" That only stoked Linda's fire. Ignoring Sarah's Navy insignia and dog tags, she ranted about community standards and neighborhood aesthetics. I stood frozen, half expecting her to measure the truck's tire tread. Then came the line that sparked it all. "Newcomers don't get to break the rules." Sarah's head tilted slightly, not in anger, but with the quiet calculation of someone who'd faced real threats. She said, "Got it," and kept unloading. Linda, expecting a fight, lingered awkwardly before retreating behind her picket fence. I joined Sarah, asking, "What was that?" She smirked. "First skirmish." She thinks she won. But I could tell Linda's entitlement grated on her, not the yelling, but the disrespect. That night, over takeout burgers and half-unpacked boxes, we tried to laugh it off. "Maybe she's just enthusiastic," I offered. Sarah shot back, "Or a dictator in yoga pants." The next morning, Sarah parked in the driveway again. No boxes, no excuses, just because it was ours. At 8:47 a.m., Linda's garage door slid open like a scene from a thriller. Out she came, armed with her notepad and a visor, scribbling furiously after inspecting Sarah's license plate. Sarah watched from the porch, sipping coffee. By noon, a typed notice appeared in our mailbox, a formal HOA violation for improper driveway use, citing a rule that didn't exist. Sarah read it, smiled, and said, "She's picking a fight she can't win." For days, Linda circled like a vulture, walking her terrier past our house, glaring at the truck. Sarah tracked her routine with the precision of a naval operation. On day 5, Sarah upped the ante. She parked the truck dead center in the driveway and stood beside it in her full Navy dress uniform, not for show, but to remind herself who she was. I watched from the window as Linda rounded the corner. Her eyes widened, her dog yipped as she yanked its leash, and she nearly tripped. Sarah stood tall, metals glinting. Linda sped up, visibly shaken, but undeterred. The next day, another notice arrived. Second violation, driveway obstruction. Sarah tossed it in the recycling bin. "Time to push back," she said. Linda didn't know Sarah had spent years mastering strategy and intelligence. She'd once negotiated a ceasefire in a war-torn village with nothing but a radio and a handshake. This was child's play. We dug into the HOA charter and county records, finding no trace of Linda's driveway rule. Sarah compiled evidence, photos, notices, timestamps like she was building a case for court. We invited Tom over for dinner, where he confirmed Linda's reign of terror. "She makes up rules," he said. "No one challenges her because it's easier to comply." Sarah asked, "Has anyone audited her?" Tom shook his head. That was all she needed. Sarah parked in the driveway daily, each time waiting for Linda's reaction. One morning, Linda snapped a photo and declared, "This goes to the board." Sarah replied, I've read the charter. There's no rule against parking here. Linda stammered, that's not how we do things, and fled. Sarah filed a formal complaint with the county, attaching evidence of Linda's harassment. Linda retaliated with a barrage of petty citations. Our porch flag was too large. Our mailbox was off color. Our lawn was non-compliant. Sarah laughed. She's desperate. At the next HOA meeting, Linda railed against rule breakers. Sarah stood, holding the charter. There's no rule against driveway parking. Your citations are baseless. The room went silent. An elderly resident muttered, she's right. Linda, flustered, couldn't produce records to back her claims and ended the meeting abruptly. The neighborhood began to stir. Residents shared stories of Linda's overreach fines for flower beds, bans on holiday lights. Tom built an encrypted online folder for evidence. Someone uncovered Linda's $10,000 consulting retreat funded by HOA dues. Another found fines levied on non-HOA properties. Sarah organized a barbecue in our driveway, inviting neighbors and veterans from her unit. Linda crashed it, demanding event approval. Sarah countered, it's private property. County maintains the sidewalk. Linda left, humiliated, as a veteran jokingly offered to talk it out. Then came the breaking point. Late one night, our doorbell camera caught Linda, hooded, ripping our American flag from its pole and snapping it in half. Sarah retrieved the broken pieces silently, her face unreadable. The next day, she raised a larger flag on a reinforced pole. Neighbors honked in support. Sarah reported the vandalism to the police, and the footage aired on local news. Navy veterans' flag destroyed by HOA president. Linda's denials crumbled. The county launched an audit, uncovering $50,000 in misspent HOA fund spa trips, wine subscriptions, personal catering. Linda called an emergency meeting, accusing Sarah of military intimidation. A resident, Mr. Carter, stood with the audit summary. We know what you did. Sarah presented the broken flag and charter. I fought for freedom, not to be bullied at home. The room voted. Linda was ousted as president. A new board formed, with Tom as secretary and Mr. Carter as treasurer. Sarah declined a role but advised on policy. Oakwood Hills' transformed lawns bloomed with personality. Kids drew on sidewalks. Flags flew freely. Linda's husband delivered her apology letter, admitting her obsession with control. Sarah read it, said, I hope she heals, and moved on. The neighborhood held its first Heroes Day, honoring veterans and first responders. Sarah coordinated but shunned the spotlight. One evening, a boy left a drawing of Sarah in uniform, labeled Our Hero. She pinned it on our wall, saying, This beats any medal. Sarah's truck stayed in the driveway. Neighbors waved as they passed. Newcomers heard her story not of a feud, but of a woman who stood firm with quiet strength. Linda's tyranny faded from memory, but Sarah became a legend, proof that one person's courage can rewrite a community's story. What do you think about Sarah's fight against injustice? Have you faced similar battles with authority or bullying? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss how we confront unfairness and stand up for what's right.